Hello YouTube, this is Frugal and this is a completely unprepared video. I thought I would just wing it, but we just heard Lockheed Martin have announced Prepared version 3 and it's actually going to release on Wednesday this week. Talk about out of nowhere. So I thought I would run up a video and we'll just walk through the website together and look at some of the cool stuff and some of the interesting stuff behind this announcement. In fact, perhaps most interesting for me personally is the licensing stuff. One of the questions I get asked most frequently about Prepared is which license should I get? Am I going to get all the features in the $59 version that I am in the $200 version? And I tell everybody the license is not a pricing issue. And they've simplified the license quite a lot. You can see it here, Prepared version 3, September the 30th, 2015. They've simplified that horrible licensing grid a lot to make it very, very explicit. Professional license is a platform to experience a mission before it happens, learn and test your knowledge, recreate scenarios, train for scenarios in aviation, air traffic control, ground vehicle operation and disaster response, and it is available to those that are training, instructing, simulating, so us, flying, or learning. The academic license offers, get this, now this is the key here, hopefully this puts a stop to all the questions of should I get the $59 one? The academic version offers the academic community a platform to develop hands-on STEM lessons. In Prepared, students can blah 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 blah. The academic license is provided at a discount for students, and there's the licensing grid down here. The student academic license is available if you are an undergraduate student or a kid in school. That's it. It's not a pricing issue. If you're going to go and get the $59.95 one and you're not a student, you're just trying to save money, then I can't really comment on that. I don't agree with it. I think most people watching this channel are going to have to go and get the $199 one, and that's important as well. It's version 3. It's a major update. Lots of stuff will have changed, so they are charging a brand new fee, a whole new, you need to spend the full $200 to get this. You can't just upgrade what you've already got. So that's a bit of a pain. Anyway, let's go back over here because there's some interesting stuff that I saw skimming through this, and I didn't read them in detail, but we'll read them through together here and see what we can see. So let's look over here. This one's kind of interesting. Avatar mode. You can now enter and exit vehicles in avatar mode, and it's fully controllable in first and third person. So they're basically making this almost like a first person shooter game or an adventure game where you can actually walk up to the aircraft and get in. I don't know what the impact of that is on third-party aircraft. A lot of these third-party aircraft, the way they're developed is they have actually a very different model for the interior of the aircraft when you're looking from an interior view compared to the model that you have from an external view. For example, in PMDG's aircraft, if you use Easy Dock and spin the camera around in the seat and just run backwards, you won't see a very nice cabin. You need to go outside the aircraft to an external view and then kind of go through the wall. So I'm not sure what the impact on that is going to be. They have a new theme. Okay, great. They've fixed some UI layouts, whatever. The ATC window can now be transparent. Okay. None of this is particularly interesting. Fixed a bug in the menu system where blank entries, we don't care. Added close buttons to docked views. The default scenario is now visible on a load scenario screen. So nothing major so far. Fixed a bug with show ATC text setting. Okay, another bug here with InfoGen. Fixed issues with modifying default and favorites in save and load screens. Okay, again, not huge. In fact, a lot of this stuff is just bug fixes. Bug fixes with the flight planner. Bug fixes with certain text boxes. Bug fixes with scenario startup, and so on and so on. The more interesting stuff is obviously down here, platform improvements. So, flight's terminology has now been changed to scenario to better reflect Prepared's full land, sea, and air training capabilities. Okay, nobody cares. Next, though, everybody cares. Fix the controller and joystick dropping issues with Windows 8.1. Round of applause! That's pretty cool. I know that's bugging a lot of people. It's one of the reasons I dropped out of Windows 8 very rapidly. Fixed multiplayer issue, preventing user logout when exiting. It's interesting that Lockheed still uses the word multiplayer in a number of places when it's not an entertainment product. But anyway, fixed a bug where a crash would occur when entering an invalid license. Well, if you enter an invalid license and it crashes, okay. Fixed a bug where a piston engine failure could reverse itself back to 100% health. Okay. Oculus Rift VR headset is fully integrated into the core sim. The headset now appears in the camera mode list if connected. That's huge. Oculus recently updated their libraries to get rid of extended mode, where the Oculus Rift would run basically as a separate monitor, and just lock everything into direct mode. Many games so far that support Oculus Rift have not updated yet to support that. Only a handful have, but with this launching on Wednesday, I would expect that they're supporting the most current version of the Oculus Development Kit, which means direct mode. That is awesome. That's a big deal. I have no idea how I'm going to film that. Added content error reporting, okay great. Fixed another bug here. Fixed a bug that will cause frame drops when hitting escape during instant replay. I've never seen that. Fixed a bug that will cause a full scenery reload to occur, even when not moving a vehicle. Okay. More bugs. Let's skip all these. Scenario captions, now on by default. Okay. Fixed a bug with child views, whatever. More bugs here that will prevent scenery briefing from being displayed, a bug that will prevent pilot records from updating, a crash from misconfigured weapons and pylons, fixed weather serialization bug in multiplayer, fixed bug when booting into multiplayer from the command line, okay. Default scenario now writes out immediately to the prepared config, so if you change your default scenario, it writes immediately to the config. You don't need to exit the sim for those changes to save. Fixed a bug that will prevent thunder sounds from being audible. That's a big one. I haven't actually heard thunder in Prepared for quite a while, so that's good to know. Updated vehicle load failure pop-up, whatever. Fixed an issue that caused instability when using hoist and sling, which I've never used actually in Prepared. I didn't know you could, so that's good to know. Dock view positioning bug when undocked views are open. Undocked views now position themselves on top of other views. Great. Fixed the bug that will cause the window plug-in system to hang when changing vehicles. Okie dokie then. Fixed the bug where slew would not disengage when entering instant replay. Okay, great. Fixed the bug that caused Xbox 360 controller triggers to register as the Z-axis. Okay. So far, what I'm seeing here so far from this full page and a half of text is Oculus Rift support. That's a big deal. Avatar mode, not sure why they went that route, but okay, that's a significant thing. Everything else so far is bug fixes. Let's go down here then. Speed tree. Platform now supports speed tree models, which are high quality 3D trees with wind animations and smooth level of detail transitions. That's very cool. Speed tree models can also be placed using Sim Director, which nobody I know uses. New content, we now have a Black Hawk. Oh goody, oh thank you Lockheed, that's awesome. I've been looking for a decent Black Hawk for a while. Hopefully that one is decent. It's coming from Vertavia, they do have a good track record, so good. India Alpha Foxtrot Echo F-35A is included. 18 new scenery library models of 3D trees are included, courtesy of Speedtree. So new trees everywhere. This hopefully is the good stuff. Updated visuals and performance. They have updated the HDR to increase default brightness and enhance color clarity. They've developed animation blending support, enabling lifelike avatar animations. Again, this goes back to the avatar mode, walking around as a 3D person in the sim, getting in and out of your aircraft. Not so sure that's a huge thing, but it's great that it's lifelike. Fixed issues with water reflections. Great. Fixed the bug with non-tessellated terrain that will prevent ground detail flag from being respected. A visual bug with particles, a bug with taxi lights shifting at large airports. I know that's been a problem for a lot of people. And remove the old sun glare effect. So presumably there is a brand new sun glare effect. Fixed an issue with virtual cockpit night lighting not working, an issue where the global environment map would fail to load. Fixed shadow issues seen with bathymetry, which is underground terrain, basically, sorry, underwater terrain. Fixed the alpha, or added the alpha right option for virtual cockpit panel textures. Alpha right option for virtual cockpit panel textures. What on earth could that mean? Alpha channels in graphics, in video games and graphic development are typically transparency, the amount of transparency that you're going to apply to something. So this is talking about textures that have a certain amount of transparency on them, presumably glass. So scratched glass, scuffed glass, glass with fingerprints in cockpit displays. That's pretty cool. Fixed a bug where GPU terrain would shift. Okay, light scaling bug, prevent models from being created in certain instances. Fix the bug where applying VSync with triple buffering would cause rendering to freeze. Never seen that, thank goodness. Fix the would not display properly on non-tessellated terrain. I have read the next one already. Improved memory management, reducing overall VAS usage and spikes. Does that mean an end to the dreaded out of memory error? I don't know, but they have improved it. So maybe we'll get it less. I was recording a fully loaded flight last night, actually. Took 3 hours to record it. Had problems with my recording gear. It didn't actually save the files, but at the end of that flight, I was getting the out of memory warning, and eventually it did crash, and I had that on video as well. So hopefully things like that go away. What else have we got? Fixed a bug that caused different objects to burn through fog, including the sun, moon, galaxy. Galaxy? I've never seen the galaxy burn through fog. But okay, airport lights and lens flare. Does this mean that someone somewhere in the military or in the government is using Prepared and has spacecraft in it? That would be too cool. If that's the case though, why are spacecraft experiencing fog? Anyway, multiplicative particles, and now fog correctly. Optimized texture unloading during loads, great. Unused terrain detail textures are no longer loaded. That's a big deal. That's going to be contributing to the VAS issue. So unused terrain detail textures not being loaded is huge. Added modification saturation effect to HDR. Okay, lets you customize the visual appearance, modifiable saturation. So how much, is this going to refer to colors? I think it is. How much color saturation do you have in your image? The YouTubers are going to love that one. Fix the bug causing panel transparency to also affect virtual cockpit panels if MipMap VC panels was enabled. I tend to disable MipMap VC panels, so hopefully I can re-enable them now. What else have we got here? Certain clouds would disappear at certain camera angles. Seen that many, many, many times, thank God. Fix the bug that would cause fog to flicker when changing views. Fog would not respect the show weather flag. Lots of fog bugs being fixed. Fix the bug, let's just skip down a few here actually. Oh, this one. Overall shader optimizations for increased performance. So not only are we hoping to see less out of memory errors, we are also very much hoping to see better performance, better frame rates. And given that they've integrated Oculus Rift now, that's key. You can't have a good Oculus Rift experience with less than, they say 75 frames per second. I would go as low as 50. I think going under 50 and you're starting to feel very, very nauseous. So hopefully these overall shader optimizations and other changes are there to try to get you above that number and get a smooth experience in a virtual reality headset. Fixed a bug where landing lights were drawing correctly at steep angles. I'm sure we've all seen that. And a bug where HDR and FXAA would not be applied for one frame when switching views. I don't think that's a big deal, but okay. Fixed a bug with wave animation and wind offsets. Great. There is an enhanced particle system apparently, which better utilizes the GPU and system resources by reducing CPU side work. That's where the frame rate boost is coming from, supporting indirect draw calls and improved sorting algorithms. Basically, they put in place a particle system. Now, particles are used for everything from clouds to smog, to fog, to rain, to snow, to sparks. Lots of places in the sim that you wouldn't even think of are using the particle system. So rewriting or optimizing the particle system to utilize your GPU is going to free up the CPU to focus on the core sim and give you more performance. That's awesome. Fixed an issue with particle effects not rendering, okay, and a bug with particle lifetime. So basically a light or a particle or something hanging around a little bit longer than it should. Fixed a Z fighting issue with particles using the same emitter. I wonder if that applies to lights floating above runways. It might do. Fixed an issue where certain aircraft light emitters would not be deleted. Why would they be? I guess when you retract the landing lights and they're still there. Fixed a bug with extrusions not connecting properly with certain effects. Okay, and this is a big one for a lot of people as well. Enhanced multiple GPU support. Fixed a bug where lights would not draw correctly on multiple GPUs. Batched scenery objects would flicker with multiple GPUs. Scenery objects would not correlate correctly across multiple views. And fixed a bug where effects would not synchronize properly between multiple GPUs. In general, if you are a multiple GPU user, your time has come at long last. There is a Microsoft ESP-based simulator out there which can make use of those multiple cards. That's good news. Sim Director updates we're not really going to cover. Interesting stuff down here in the SDK and Sim Connect thing here. Sim Connect is changing a little bit. I'm not sure how compatible it is with the previous Sim Connect stuff and whether that's going to break a whole bunch of Sim Connect based add-ons like Active Sky Next. We shall see. Installer updates. Installer is now split into 3 components which can be updated and installed independently. So when in the future Lockheed Martin do their updates, the idea I think behind this one, is actually this one down here, is that you won't need to reinstall the whole sim, just the client or just the content or just the scenery. That's big. Folder organization scheme has been modified to support new content and scenery installers. That's a worry. FSX Steam Edition modified the folder layout to a certain extent and broke a lot of add-ons. I don't know whether that's going to be the case with this. Time will tell. Legacy SimConnect clients will no longer be installed with Prepared. Separate installers for these are provided in the install package if needed. So that does imply that legacy SimConnect, such as used by ActiveSky Next and numerous other add-ons, is still supported. Process of activating from another computer has been simplified, and the licensing and digital rights management system has been completely overhauled. That's interesting as well. I actually read that line when I skimmed through this before I looked at that licensing grid about the academic license. I know for a fact a lot of grown adults who are not students have been buying the academic license to save money. A lot of them have been making videos and doing Twitch live streams, trying to put up their little logo to hide the academic watermark in the top right of the screen. I kind of expected Lockheed to do something this time around to stamp that out, because realistically not stamping it out could be construed as not meeting their license requirements with Microsoft, which are don't produce an entertainment product. But so far that hasn't happened. But when I read this line, licensing and DRM system overhauled, I was kind of expecting to see there something to enforce the license and say hand over some credential to prove that you're a student. But thankfully, for those of you who are completely disregarding the license, it doesn't look like Lockheed cared too much right now. As always, my name is Frugal. Thank you so very much for watching. Of course, as soon as PREPAR3D is released, well, not as soon as, but sometime after it's released, and I've figured out how the hell it works and how to get all my add-ons into it, I will be making videos with it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all very, very soon.